All right, welcome everyone to the show. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Today we're gonna have a great show. Something that you all been waiting for. I think it'll be great. We're gonna talk about 15 qualities women must have when dating men in the top 5%. Welcome, my co-host, my red
Hello.
high
Can you hear me?
value man, Dimitri. I can hear you. I can hear you great.
Yeah, just a FYI, I think they're giving you a copyright thing on that front video.
Okay.
Looks like it. This
Okay.
is FYI. So they might be slowing down the live because of that. I'm just not sure.
Okay. All right.
I'll double check.
Okay. So, today, 15 qualities women must have when dating men in the top 5%. A lot of women, they desire to date very successful men. They want a very lavish, luxurious lifestyle. And I'm here to help them get that. But first, Dimitri, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Well, my name is Demetron Ware, and I am a part of the High Value Man Cave. So, yep, and self-proclaimed high value man.
Okay, so we'll get started. Number one is confidence. A self assured woman can handle herself in a variety of situations, which is crucial in high society circles because being in the top 5%, you are going to, that puts you in a different socioeconomic class, that puts you in different social circles. So you need to have confidence because all of those men and all of their wives, no matter if you are new, they are going to be confident and self assured. So confidence is key. And I'm not talking about faking it till you make it, but you need to make sure you feel and understand that you belong in those social circles. So confidence is something that you must have. Intelligence. An intellectual connection can be very attractive, and an understanding of various topics can help maintain interesting conversations. You don't have to be the smartest one in the room. You don't have to be in a have a very high IQ, but you should be well rounded on subject matters. You should be able to talk about a little bit here, a little bit there, more so than just the weather, what you wore, shopping, and all those things. Men do like women who are intelligent and they can have well rounded discussions. And also, it also speaks to how having a degree speaks to your how you look at higher learning, and it shows that a person is studious and dedicated. So if you have a degree, you've graduated with your bachelor's, master's, PhD, whatever, it just shows a man that you can commit to something.
High
And
value men want degrees. I'm just curious.
I don't want to say it's not a matter of want or don't want, um, but it does speak to a woman's how dedicated she is to something, that she can commit to something.
Mm, I mean, maybe. I just know that to me, I don't really care about that. There's other ways that I can notice somebody's dedicated to something because I have employees that don't have degrees that are dedicated, and then I've had employees that have degrees that are not dedicated because a degree doesn't necessarily show dedication, especially not in Black people, because dedication is you're doing something that you don't feel like you have to do, to where you can say, okay, I'm dedicated to something, but um, you know, I'm more looking for somebody that can do something that they're not required to do. And of course, people say, well, you're not required to have a degree. Well, it depends on where you feel you are in society, because if somebody is very fearful um, about their life or lifestyle, and they're saying, okay, well, I got to have this degree because I got to take care of myself. Well, that's not really dedication that's pushing them. It's their fears.
Okay. Yeah. I will agree that some men don't care about the degree. Um, some do. You
Yeah, I
know,
mean, not a high value man is not going to care about a degree.
I
I
have
mean, that
some
it's not going to be like a requirement at all. Uh, it- because he's already making that stuff happen. You know, he's going to care about other things. There's going to be value in things that are other than a degree. You know, if she has a degree, fine, but it, she didn't need to go do that. I mean, with black women, it's almost better that she doesn't have a degree, because if she's with a high value man, she's going to feel like she's not using it. I mean, so if she goes and gets a degree in, you know, in the medical field, and she marries a high value man, and he's in some other field that's totally different, and he can't utilize her, she's going to feel like her degree is not being utilized. She's going to feel underutilized, undervalued. You know, it's just going to be, yeah. So I think that's a problem, you know, in a lot of relationships where women are with high value men. But I haven't really seen um, very many high value men at all, if any, that are with women that are like go getters with PhDs. I mean, it's like you see that sometimes, like maybe on Married to Medicine. I know a few doctors that are married together, but they don't spend very much time. I mean, they're both like not in the house. And they have kids, and it's like the lifestyle is, I mean, I don't know, it just, their lifestyle, he may as well be single, because it's like he's not married. It's like he may as well not have a wife. But a high value man is going to want someone to help him in the areas that he can't help himself.
so I
Most
have
most people aren't going to see that.
yeah, I have a few clients. It's not a requirement. It's like it's not a deal breaker if she doesn't have a degree, but if they're degreed, and especially if they have a high degree, they are going to have a desire for a woman to have a degree. So it's more of the networking opportunities. The
That's not Those are not high value men. The high value man is not, he doesn't care about that. He's not going to look for his wife for networking opportunity. That's a 50-50 dude. Those are 50-50 dudes. Those are not high value men. High value men do not care about that. I mean, if he's a million, or okay, so maybe you're talking about if you're talking about a dude that makes 100,000 a year, then yeah. But
no,
if you're talking about the top 5%, because the dude is making 100,000 a year is not in the top 5%.
so the top 5% is approximately in the U.S. is approximately $240,000. It's gone up significantly now. I'm not saying that they're using their wife for networking opportunities. I'm saying that it's she herself knows how to network, right? It shows, it puts her in social circles, it puts her in situations where she knows how to navigate certain arenas. Um, she knows how to network. She knows how to, move amongst the crowd. Um, so yeah, so I'm not really saying that they're using the woman for networking opportunities, but just the fact that she has a network that puts having those high degrees does put her in proximity to people who are actually probably more likely in his social circle. So she's already shown that she knows how to move in such circles. So number three, interesting. A person who has their own life interests and passions can be quite appealing. So, um, these men are going to be very busy, right? They're trying to see, not trying to see, but since they're very busy, you're going to need to have your own life. You're going to need to have your own hobbies and your own passions, because he's going to need to see that you're not a needy person, and that he can work and he can be away from you, and you're not blowing up his phone or uh, complaining about how much time you're not spending together. Not saying that you're not going to get any time with him, but just be a well-rounded person. It shows when you have your own life, you have interests, and you have your own hobbies and passions. It shows that you have adjusted to life well, and you're not looking for another person to make you happy. You can create your own happiness. Number four is ambition. And I'm not talking about necessarily ambition with work, but I'm just
I
saying
don't know where this list came from. This list sounds suspect.
ambition as in showing how much you desire something. So, like, even if it's a passion, even if it's a hobby, even if the hobby is your family, but just showing that you can be ambitious about something, being lackadaisical about something, being nonchalant is going to be a turnoff, right? So just be ambitious. Understanding of their lifestyle. Wealthy men often lead busy lives with many responsibilities, and understanding and adapting to this can be crucial. So, like I said, with number three, um, they're going to be busy, they're going to be very productive, and they're not going to have time trying to coddle your feelings and coddle your need for them to be up under you all the time. So you're going to have to be understanding. You're going to have to be understanding of the way that they move in their own life. If they need, I remember I had a client, and he was in the music industry. Well, he still is. He's in the music industry, and his biggest problem was women not understanding that he needed to network, and for the purposes of his business, it put him in proximity to very, very beautiful women. And the women that he would date became very insecure, um, and jealous sometimes. And so it caused problems and caused arguments. So with him, he needs someone who's understanding that yes, he's going to be in proximity to beautiful women. He's not thinking about cheating, but it's job, it's work for him. I had another client who was a photographer. He's a celebrity photographer, and the same thing put him in proximity to very beautiful women. And the women that he would date, eventually they would become very jealous and insecure about his job. So you need to be very understanding of the hours that they keep, the work that they do, and the lifestyle that they live. Number six, grace and etiquette. Knowing how to conduct oneself in various social situations is important. I speak on this a lot. Grace and etiquette is something that is necessary when you're in these higher social circles. You need to know the proper protocols. And I'm not saying everything is going to be like a five, six, seven course meal, but you should know how to navigate moving, being able to work a room very graciously, knowing how to engage with the host, knowing when to bring a gift and what type of gift to bring is very important. And just being graceful. If you need to cancel, reaching out to the person, being communicative is part of grace and etiquette. So if you need to cancel, you would send a note or a message, letting the person know that you cannot make it, and the reason why you can't make it. If you are attending something, you need to make sure that you RSVP by the deadline that they're saying that you RSVP. This is very important, especially when you're married, because these are things that your husband is going to lean on you for, because he's not going to be focused on this. This is something that women handle and women take care of. So women are the gatekeepers of grace and etiquette, because if you step wrong, even as someone who is dating, or you are in a relationship with a high value man, and you falter, that will be a mark not just on you, but on him as well. Number seven, emotional maturity. The ability to handle conflicts maturely and communicate effectively is highly valuable. Now, we've all seen the TV shows, Married to Medicine, Real Housewives of Atlanta, all the Real Housewives. Do not be like those women. Those women clearly lack emotional maturity. The way that they just pop off, they end up fighting, arguing all very loudly. It doesn't seem as if they care about who's around. But it's TV, so no one's really going to have a problem because people understand it's TV. But that cannot happen in real life. It should not happen in real life. You need to um, You need to know when to say something and when not to say something. And if something is bothering you and you're upset about something, you need to be able to handle that in a delicate way, in a delicate manner. Even when you're just with your man, right? Having the emotional maturity to control your feelings and your emotions and not using them to manipulate a man, to not use them to try to lead him, control him. Um, I would say don't be in princess mode, but be in queen mode. Queens are very graceful, they're very delicate, and they put a high price on etiquette and how they carry themselves. You will not see a queen arguing with peasants. You will not see a queen come down off her throne to get dirty. Um, so keep your crown adjusted and not a tiara like princesses wear. Number 8, financial literacy. Understanding financial matters can help in relating to their lifestyle and concerns. It also helps with understanding how your man will spend his money. It also gives you an understanding of not being wasteful, right? No one wants to waste their hard-earned money. So you need to have some type of financial literacy, how to budget if you're going to be doing a budget, when or be privy to the budget, being mindful of spending that man's hard earned money. If you don't come across as a wasteful spender, and if you do come across as a wasteful spender, you are now a liability and not an asset. So having financial literacy, understanding how money works, economic matters, will make you more of an asset. Patience. Number 9 is patience. This is a huge one because this is where I see a lot of women lacking patience. Wealthy individuals often have demanding schedules and commitments. You are going to need to be patient from the beginning all the way up until I do, and all the way through your marriage. Um, Even just in how you deal with them, you're going to need to have a lot of patience. Patience and understanding, like those two go hand in hand. Patience and understanding. When you can have patience, you can weather the storms, weather the difficulties, because he's high flying. He's focused on a lot of different areas, got a lot going on. He needs you to be patient, and when you're patient, that brings the peace that he's going to need. If you're not a patient person, it's going to if you're impatient, it's going to bring in a lot of chaos, essentially chaos and disruption. And chaos and disruption is going to cause a break in the relationship if you've gotten that far. If you have not gotten that far, you're not likely to get to that point if you are injecting chaos and disruption into the dynamic. Number 10, this is huge. And Demetri, I think you would definitely agree with this one. Respect for privacy. High profile individuals often value discretion and privacy. So, for all of you who like to put things out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, stop that. Like posting every single thought, every single problem in your private life, you need to go through all your social media and scrub that. Spreading all of the business to your friends and family, that's a huge no-no. When a man goes to sleep at night, he wants to be able to rest comfortably knowing that whatever he says to you when his head is on that pillow, the whole world is not going to end up finding out about it. He wants to be able to come to you and be able to tell his deepest, darkest secrets and private moments. He wants to be able to be vulnerable with you. And in order for him to feel that, to get that, you need to respect his privacy and not blast everything about your lives out on social media or to family and friends. Number 11, supportiveness. Being supportive of their goals and ambitions can show that you are a valuable partner. Constantly focusing on what you want to do. And I will give an example of how a partner is not supportive, how a woman is not supportive to her man, and not being supportive of his goals can cause you to end up the relationship ending. For all you millennials, Marion from B2K and his baby mama, his ex fiance April Jones. April is a aspiring singer, um, and while she was trying to become an aspiring singer, she also wanted to become a mother. Amarion obliged her, and once she had the baby, he was more focused on her being at home, taking care of the children, and just supporting him now because being having a child put her in a different role. Well, she wasn't focused on supporting him. I think at that time B2K was starting to, he was entering into the next phase of his solo career, and he needed her support, especially when it came to focusing on the home and the children. Well, instead of supporting his dreams, she was starting to focus on her dreams of becoming a singer, making a record, making an album. He was not too keen on that, so he wasn't helping her. So she just nagged him,
What makes
and
people do that? What makes people do that? I mean, to where they just, she see what he is and what he's doing. I mean, what made her decide to just go ahead and just kind of go off on a tangent?
because I think she got with him because she wanted to, elevate her career. She saw him as a starting point for her career. He could help her. And she said that. She literally said that, like, I got with you and you're supposed to help me with my career.
Oh, okay. So I can see that. I guess that's one of the values of being with a high value man, because, or with a person in the top 5%. There's going to be a lot of things that he can do on that level, especially when they're younger.
Hmm.
Um, there's a lot of steps that she can skip, and I guess that's kind of an expectation that she would have. So I guess that does make sense.
It does. Except he was focused on restarting his second phase of his solo career. So he was relaunching his solo career because he kind of, went
So
into
they
the
were
back.
they were really in conflict, and because she's wanting him to help her career get going, and he's trying to restart his own career. Um, if they were married, then I could see him just saying, "Okay, we just let me just focus on your career and kind of get her going," because that's what happened with Tamar and her husband. But of course, they ended up divorced. So because when she went into her career, uh, that came first, and yeah, then the
Yeah, but
marriage dissolved.
Tamar and her husband, he was already like financially set and he was in the business where he could actually, because that's what he did. He
Right.
managed other women in their careers. So he could actually do that. But Omarion trying to focus on her and his career,
Well,
and he,
what I'm saying is that he did that, and
yeah,
his marriage failed. So he was able to get her career popping, but his marriage failed. So Amarian, he don't have a clout that her husband had in terms of production and things like that. So Amarian trying to get his career together and her career together, that's gonna be tough to do, and maintain a relationship, and they're not married, right?
no, they weren't married. And the fact that he was the sole breadwinner, provider, like she didn't have a job, she didn't have any, she was not bringing any income in. And he was like, I got to get this bag. Like, I have obligations to my family.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so their relationship ended. He ended up calling it off, breaking up with her because he felt she wasn't supportive. He felt like, look, you have this that you want to do, and if you feel like I'm holding you back, then maybe you're best off on your own.
Yeah, I would agree, because it would be a lot harder for Omarion to get her career started than to get his career continuing. Because if he starts to try to focus on her career, they're going to be broke for a while. But he's got to kind of work on his money. I mean, if he's having a money shortage, he needs to work on that. And I'm sorry about that. I need to turn that
That's okay. We heard the ching ching.
down. Yeah, he needs to work on his bag, and if his bag is short, he needs to kind of focus on that. But if he starts focusing on her bag, and they're not married, I mean, that's risky, because then he's what that doesn't make any sense. Like, he's not making any money. Why would he be focusing on her making money? That makes no sense.
Exactly.
Yeah, he definitely had to get out of that relationship. That was a done deal. He needs to let her go and go work on your career, baby. Come back and see me when it's done.
Yeah, she moved on to someone else.
Yeah, that's fine. That's what she gonna. Yeah, you own it and knock it down while you can, and then kick her out and let her go to the next one. And let keep moving.
Yeah, I was looking at that and I was like, I for me, and I know because of the type of woman I am, I'm like, look, I just want to be. I'm like Savannah James. I just want to be a wife and mother. I don't need to be out there, and I don't understand why women. I know you have a talent, but once because it was the fact was he said, okay, once we had Omega, like that put you in a whole other role. Like if you didn't, we didn't have Omega, then you wanted to go out there and do your career. That's fine, but you're because he wasn't really
Oh,
trained
they
for
have a
health.
child. They have a child together.
Yes, they have two kids now.
Oh,
So
so both. Oh, they have two kids together.
yeah, she wanted to become a mother, and it was like, girl, if you want to be, because his thing is,
How
you're
is
a
it that
mother.
she want to have two kids, then all of a
Mhm.
sudden she wakes up one day and says, "Yeah, I got with you because I want to be a star." Then why you keep pumping out kids? I don't understand. I mean,
But she's trying,
so who's gonna keep the kids while you
right?
touring and all this kind of stuff? I mean, this makes no sense.
That's
She's not
exactly what.
thinking. She sounds very young. How old is she? 20.
I think she was no, she's in her early 30s now. She was in her mid to late 20s when this was going on.
Yeah, that makes sense because yeah, because in her early 20s she's gonna be making weird choices and it's just not gonna make sense. That makes no sense, Letitia. I don't understand.
You sound so flabbergasted.
I'm like, make it make freaking sense, man. I'm like, what?
And but that is the
Why she
problem.
pumping out kids and then she dropping and talking about saying, "Oh, now I want to be a star." That's the same crap that Tamar said. What the hell?
It's the same thing that what's her name from Real Housewives of Atlanta, Portia. Remember when she was with
Ooh,
Cordell
yeah.
and she wanted a baby, but then she wanted to start doing all these opportunities, and he was like, "No, you got to pick one because who's going to watch the kid? I'm not hiring." She's like a nanny. He was like, "Why would I hire a nanny when I got a wife? That's your
Because
job,
because because you need somebody to keep your kids. That's why. She's like,
right?
you need help. That's like he's like, well, wait a minute. That's why I married you. You to help. And she like, I ain't the
Exactly,
help, nigga. I ain't the
exactly.
help.
So
You
that's
better hire somebody. This is a bait and switch. That's
right.
what it
So
is.
exactly. So these men were looking at it like I have you and you're supposed to take care of the kids while I go off and make the money. So this is why it's important for women to be very supportive of his goal and his ambitions because they're the ones making the money. They're the ones who are financially supporting the family. So, number 12 is adaptability. Life with a wealthy partner can be unpredictable, and being adaptable can be a positive trait. Mergers happen, acquisitions happen, moves happen. You need to be adaptable. Meeting here, baby, him canceling on you because something has come up with work, with business, an unplanned, unscheduled meeting, something. There's always these moving parts. You need to be have the patience and understanding so that you can be adaptable. Number 13, I speak on this a lot. Authenticity. Genuine people are appreciated more than those who seem superficial or fake. Showing up as your true, authentic self gets him to understand and gets him to know who you really are so that he can make a decision right then and there. Showing up as a chameleon, putting forth a representative, no one likes that.
Oh
No one
man,
wants that.
you need to say that again. I mean, I don't know why they think that we can't see through that. I mean,
Um,
I think that a lot of women tend to think that they could date up, and that men that they date up are dumb. I mean,
well,
what they don't understand is that we play lame. it's
oh
it's
my
peep
God.
game and play lame.
Oh my
You
goodness.
peep on her game, and you see she running game, and you playing lame like you don't know what's going on, but you do know what's going. You know exactly what's going on, and you just letting her think that she running game on you. You letting her think that that she's getting away with stuff that you don't know what's going on, and yeah. So ladies, if you hear this, peep game play lame. That's what he doing.
Well, the issue is that, yeah, from women are socialized to believe that men are dumb, and that they don't know that you all don't know the games that women tend to play. But they fail to realize that you are actually dating women, and you're with around men who are dating women, and so notes are being shared. Plus, women talk too much now. Like, they share everything on social
Even
media.
if they didn't talk too much, I mean, we still know the game. We know the game. I mean, even like, look, we know the game. They might be able to be with dudes that's lame or something like that that don't know nothing about nothing, but those are not the guys that women give. Those are not the guys women date. Like, they don't like those guys. They call them passport bros, and women don't like them. Well, why? Because they don't have no swag. They don't, they don't have no street smarts. And then they go get with a dude the street smart and then try to act like he's dumb. It's like, no, he's not. And that's why a lot of women end up getting, hearts broken, because they'll end up being with the guy thinking that the guy is dumb, and they'll think that they're playing games with him, but really he knows exactly what's going on, and she's getting game back. That's why I say that, it's better to not be manipulative and not come in with games, because then it becomes real easy to tell if somebody else is running game on you. But if you coming in with game, it becomes very difficult, because one thing about it is my dad already told me that when you go to kick an ass, it's unfortunate you got to take one with you. So
Mm.
you might you got to take the potential of getting your own ass kicked. So
Hmm.
I said kicked and not kissed either.
I agree. I agree. So yeah, I agree that authenticity is a must. Develop your truest self, be true to yourself, so that you can then be true to others. So, number 14, kindness. Regardless of wealth, kindness and empathy are universally attractive traits. Just being genuinely kind, not nice, because nice is just something you do because you just want to come across as
Fake.
pleasant or agreeable, right?
Just fake. Just faking. We can peep that. We peep that too. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's easy. Yeah. I mean, we need them to be just if they would be real. I mean, if they would be real, and then just be a good person without just kind of thinking negative all the time, or thinking bad about, just, I don't know. It's just, there's just a lot of people there's a lot of issues going around in that community, unfortunately. But that's a different topic for another day.
Mm. Yeah, kindness comes straight from the heart. It's something that you're just a benevolent person, right? It's you don't even think about it. You're not being kind to try to get something out of the other person. You're just kind. You're just no it's just who you are. So no matter what's going on, you're still going to be kind.
How do they
Um,
do that though?
how did I do what? Be kind?
Yeah, how do they do that out of their heart? Because that's difficult to do if it's just not something that you grew up around, or that you grew up with, or that you naturally, because I mean, people have their experiences, and their experiences kind of make them fearful, angry, and they kind of carry some of those things into the relationship. So to be kind, it's if that's really not how you're feeling, then, and women kind of move based on the feelings. So, is she being fake if she doesn't feel kind at the moment when
No,
she's
you can still be a kind person even if you're feeling frustrated. I get frustrated. I get upset. But how I exhibit that I'm being kind is I'm not trying to be malicious in how I deal with you, right? So my mind doesn't automatically go to trying to hurt you and being malicious. But I am going to acknowledge my own feelings and let you know what my feelings are. Nice people, then after they're no longer wanting to be nice, tend to start becoming malicious, and now they're trying to hurt someone. But kindness is something that you can develop by working on yourself. So it takes a lot of self reflection and introspection. You seeing yourself as a person of worthiness, having your own self esteem helps to develop that knowing that you do have value and you do have something to offer, not just the person, but the world. It helps you to see yourself as a good person. And as you start seeing yourself as a good person, you start to want to exhibit kindness because you no longer really have the hang-ups worrying about how someone is dealing with you, the insecurities that come with people being nasty and unkind. You just start to become confident in who you are, secure in who you are, and knowing that you have worth. It helps you to just be kind and having a heart for
I
humanity.
just think that you just nailed it. I think you nailed it when you said knowing that you have worth. Um, I think I think that's key because you were making a point yesterday about a woman having to know that that she's valuable and not just saying it like I know my worth. That's just some nonsense. It's like you really have to know it and feel it inside. Not all of that fake self-esteem. You have to feel good about yourself when you're alone. You can't look in the mirror when you're alone and say, I'm so ugly, but then go outside of with everybody else and say, I think I'm this and that. My booty look good on there. I'm fine. But then when you get home, you're like, I'm so fat. It's just a mixed message. And a lot of women think that men don't see that. Now, some of your, basic Joe schmoes and some of the guys that are, uh, your basic beta, he's not going to see that. But if you're trying to date men in the 5%, I mean, they're gonna see that. Most of them are in management. They're trained to see that. They go to seminars on trying to understand people, understand the psychology of people, psychology of how you move, and all of these different things. And of course, women drop the emotional intelligence thing. So, they're gonna know all about that type stuff. So they're going to be able to read you like a book. They interview people all the time. So, so you can't go in assuming that these guys are not going to see through the fake kindness. So you just kind of want to make sure that I think if more people would go to therapy, then there's no reason to be fake because now you can just love your real self because you got rid of the parts of yourself that you didn't like.
I agree. I agree with the therapy part, and I was going to hit on that because working on your problems, your hangups, and having an outlet for those traumas, it helps you to start develop your identity. I think once people know who they are, that's when they really truly can be their most authentic selves. So authenticity and kindness go hand in hand, kind of, because once you truly know who you are, you're comfortable with yourself, you're confident in yourself, you see yourself as having worth and value, and no one can dim that light. There's an inner light that shines through, and people can see that. And then you're just operating in kindness because kindness is about being benevolent. It's about others and not just about yourself. Being nice is about you. You want to seem pleasant, you want to seem agreeable, but being kind is about others. Like, I really do care about other people's feelings. So when I say something, I'm caring about how you're going to feel about what I say. Now, there are sometimes I have to be stern, I have to be assertive, and I have to say things that may not sound good, like some of the conversations I have with women, some of the things I have to tell women, but it's still coming from a kind and benevolent place because I truly want to just help women achieve the goal of marriage to the type of men that they want. And I also have to be kind to men who I have to tell them, look, I that's not achievable, right? That may be a little difficult. I still have to be kind because I truly do want to help them. I really
Mm-hmm.
want to help men and women come together for the purpose of marriage,
Right.
um, and yeah, and grow a family and become prominent in the community and do all the things they want to do. So it's about having the being kind, and you people can do it. The biggest thing that I have where I hear clients talking is that women just aren't kind anymore. Like, even without clients, I'm sorry, I'm tongue
They
tied.
need to be taught, man. They need to be taught, Letitia. Some of these women, they don't even know that they're not kind. And then the other part is they need to be taught who to be kind to, because you know a lot of the reason why women are the way they are is because they may want to be kind, but they may have already been kind to the wrong guy and then got bad results. So then she's not going to be kind anymore. But babies don't start off mean. So at some point, she went through her life and had some experiences that made her become more unkind or made her afraid to be vulnerable. But because she's vulnerable to the wrong man, then now she's going to be a little bit nervous about doing that. So I think they need to know, like, like who to do that to. They need to be able to have that might be another live room where you can talk to them about the signs of being able to pick out these men and be able to know the snakes from the guys that are good. Because I think if women knew that and they had that trait, then they would know that, okay, it's safe to be kind to this guy right here without being taken advantage of.
I agree. I also think know that if you are truly a kind person, you can recognize kindness in others, and for those who don't exhibit it, I don't deal with people who aren't kind. I can tell the difference between people are just being nice and people are being kind. Even for people who are just being nice to me, I'm still gonna be kind, but I'm gonna limit my access to you. Like you're not gonna have access like that. Like for men, if you're not a kind person, and you might end up in the friend zone, maybe, um, or if I have to do business with you, or I'm taking you on as a well, I wouldn't take a client on. I wouldn't take a man who's not kind on as a client. So let me not even say that. um, but kindness is something that will go a long way because kindness helps you to be benevolent to that man. You're going to be caring. You're going to be considerate of him. There's little things that you're going to do that I'm not going to really say, but there's little things that you're going to start exhibiting because and doing just because you're kind, like you're benevolent. You're thinking of him, and that's what men want. Men want a woman who is going to be considerate of their needs and is going to be thinking of them. So number 15, shared interests. Having common hobbies or interests can provide a basis for connection beyond wealth. Now, you may not have anything in common at first, right? You may not have anything shared interest at first, but you need to find something that you both can relate on. That could be your thing. There's nothing like couples having their thing that they do together, whether it's watching a television show, a sports team, a hobby, boating, golfing, tennis, whatever. It's even if it's just one thing, art, going to art galleries, it's something that you both enjoy because you can have that one thing you both enjoy together and then you do the things that you like separately. And that's okay. Now, if you're trying to focus on just doing everything that you like, and you're not trying to find something that you and your partner can like together, it's going to cause trouble because now you're trying to be an individual you're trying to be separate. You're trying to be independent within your relationship. So focus on finding something that you both can have in common, even if you don't have anything right off the rip. So I don't want women to get with a man, attract a man, and you're talking, you realize we don't have anything in common, or there's nothing, I don't like his interests or his hobbies. You can always find something that you can do together. I'm going to add in a 16th one that I forgot to put on my list, but this one is huge. And Demetrion, I think you'll like it. You ready?
Yeah, let's see.
Shut the frick up.
That's my favorite one. That should have been number one.
Learning when to talk and when not to talk, and learning when to shut the frick up in a conversation. Everything you want to say doesn't need to be said.
That's my favorite. Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
knew
you read me
you would
right.
like
That
that one.
was, man, that's my favorite. I don't know why you didn't make that one number one, but I think you'd have turned everybody off if you'd made that one number one. That's the last one, right? That was number.
That's
That's
the last one. That's
Yeah. You probably need to put that last because otherwise they'd have never heard the rest of them. But that's really important. There's a time to talk and then the time to just be silent. And sometimes, they say a calm word calms something something something.
Stormy sea.
Yeah, so it's just you know, women should be a man's peace, not his problems. Because I think a lot of women don't understand how many problems a man deals with just going to work, bringing home the bacon. It's a fight, although you're not fighting with a pig, but just at the workplace, when I was in the workplace and all the type stuff, even on in a company, I mean, it's just drama all the time, all the time. I mean, I have to deal with different issues with employees, just stuff all the time. Somebody does something stupid, I got to deal with it. Somebody decides to sue the company, I got to deal with it. So it's just always something. And you just need a woman that is kind, that knows when to just kind of be your peace and just allow you just kind of woosah when you get home. So yeah.
I agree. That being a man, like just having that peaceful environment, just like I like what you said, when there's so much going on, you're doing so much, and when you're with your woman, you don't really want to have to do what you're doing outside the world. Your relationship is where you come to relax and get respite and get restored, right? You get restored in your relationship. So, ladies, learning when to turn it off, dial it back. And I know a lot of women will have a problem with that because they're like, well, no, I have something to say and I need to say it. And I have this, that, and the third. But just think, he has all of these things going on. But is he trying to dump all of that on you? I tell women all the time,
No,
I'm like,
no,
listen,
never. I mean,
get
men don't even like betas would do that. A beta male, he's gonna come home. He's gonna say, "Yeah, work. It was just hard today," and you can say, "Oh, it was hard, baby. Yeah, it was hard." Like Martell. Martell go to his mama. Yeah, mama, she got mad at me and I did so. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Martell mama just be cuddling him all the time, making him into a bit. Oh, I can't say that right. But yeah, that's what she's doing. And so, men 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 don't really need that. It's even when you do that, it's not good for them. It makes them weak. It makes them not be able to go the next day and slay a dragon. I mean, you can't slay a dragon crying to your mother and crying to your woman. You got to be strong and brave. And on top of that, no woman can feel safe in a man that's being a bit. Oh, okay, yeah, I can't say that. I mean, no woman can. She's not going to respect him. She's not going to respect him. So, and she'll probably be in a relationship for a while and say, yeah, I still like you or whatever. But over time, man, she's not going to feel safe to where he can protect her. So she's having to protect him. Now he's providing, but she's being the protector. But he has to be able to provide both. He has to be the protector and the provider.
Yep. So when you women understand that, hey, you have a man who is going to be the protector, and the provider, your place is to nurture the environment so that it can be a peaceful, non-chaotic environment where there's not a lot of disruptions. Now, of course, things happen. If there's a problem, yes, he's going to want you to come to him for a solution, but make sure you're coming to him for a solution. If you're just coming to vent and complain, I would say don't do that very often. Get a therapist or get a diary.
I don't actually. Most men, I mean, depend on their level of maturity. It depends on the age. Depends on the age. If he's younger, yeah, you need to go to a therapist. If he's older, then you can talk to him about it. He'll listen. I have no problem sitting and listen to a woman and letting her tell me what's going on, and we could talk through it. We could talk about her and her girlfriend and talking about her back, talking about her behind her back or whatever. We can talk about that stuff too. I mean, men, should be able and capable to be able to communicate with his woman regularly without a problem. It's not like she has to just sit there and just shut up. She should be able to communicate to him, and he should be able to provide feedback and good solid information and wisdom even. Typically, if he can't do that, he may be a little bit younger, and so yeah. And some guy most guys that are beta, they're not really going to be able to do that. So so they're not going to do that as much. And then the men that are not as well read, or not as they don't read much or have much information to add, they're not going to be able to offer too much in that area. But I guess it's more about preference, and if the woman needs that, and if you can't get that from your man, yeah, then I guess going and getting it from a therapist is probably the best option.
Therapist, diary, or a very good friend that can be objective. But I know how women can be. We can be flibberty gibbets, right? For those of you who are like, what type of word is that? A flibberty gibbet is a person who likes to talk senselessly and often, right? I can't even take it. As a woman, I can't even take a flibberty gibbet, right? Someone is just talking just to talk. Um, so I would say if you're, and this goes back to being well rounded, having, knowing different subject matters, right? And another thing I didn't put on the list was communication skills, right? Because then if you do need to talk about a problem, you know how to communicate with him to tell him what's going on, or even communicate about what's happening around you, to where you're not overly emotional about it and you're letting your emotions get in the way of him helping you. Because sometimes when we're flibberty gibbets, we're just venting, and we're not and the man is thinking of a problem. He's seeing a problem, and he's immediately going to solve it, and then that causes problems. So if that's causing a problem, I would suggest you not use your man in order for you to be a flibberty gibbet, meaning your verbal diet. You're using him as a diary, like she's writing everything, she's speaking everything that's in her head to her man. So get a really good friend that you can trust, who is objective, someone close, or a therapist, or just actually buy a diary and write everything down. Because I know women, I know how we can be, and we will talk, 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 talk about nothing. And there's problems in there, but we don't want the problem solved. So if you're just venting, sometimes it's and then just knowing when it's appropriate to vent and when it's not, right? Um, if there's a lot going on, there's things happening, and he can't get to you right now so that you can vent or you can have that conversation you like to have, just have the patience to hold off. Like you said, high value men, you can talk to your man, you can have conversations with your man. They don't want you to be a doormat. They don't want you to sit there like a stepper wife with no thoughts and ideals and opinions of your own. But they just need you to have the intelligence and the patience and the wherewithal to understand when it's appropriate to have a conversation and when it's not appropriate to have a conversation. So, all right, we got through the list of 16, 17 actually. Remember when we did the high value man list and we kept adding on to it?
Oh yeah, that was great. I mean, that's a great list, man. That is a great list, and I think there's going to be a lot of people that are going to appreciate that list over the next week. So I think it's going to be a lot of people come in to listen to this on replay.
Okay, so I'm gonna go over them one more time. We got confidence, we got intelligence, being interesting, having ambition, understanding of their lifestyle, grace and etiquette, emotional maturity, financial literacy, patience, respect for privacy, supportiveness, adaptability, authenticity, kindness, shared interests, communication, and shutting the frick up. That is the 17 traits women must have when dating men in the top 5%.
Lovely, lovely list.
People were like, Frick, what Frick? Who's Frick? People were like, wow, she is such a prude, she doesn't cuss. I did when I was younger. Like when I was younger, I did. But then as my daughter started getting older and then, being married, um, it was just not ladylike. So I had to learn to dial it back up. And once my ex-husband elevated in social economic class, because with him being in the military, we were in the middle class, like middle class to upper middle class. And the etiquette of that social class was something that I had to integrate into. So how I used to be or would talk or whatever, I learned that couldn't be that way. So we both learned and grew into integrating into that social economic class. So all right, should
That's been
we
wonderful.
should we have a commercial break?
Actually, I think that was pretty good. I think that was
Okay,
pretty good. I think you can close it if you want. I mean, that was good. That was solid.
that was solid.
Oh yeah.
Oh wait, you're letting me get off the line? Oh,
Yeah, because I'm seeing how well they do once we get off.
okay.
They do well,
All right.
and this is going to be
Okay.
exceptional. So yeah. So
All
if you
right.
want, I mean, you can go do it again. We could do it again and try it on my channel and just do the same live. I mean, let you talk to the guys if you want.
Yeah, that's
See how many
fine.
can- Yeah,
Yeah, that's
I,
fine.
I think this is great.
I think so too, and I think the ladies will love it. I think it's something that they definitely need. Like I said, my
Hmm.
goal is to help. I know when women are talking about who they want, who
Hmm.
they desire, they're talking about men in the top 5%, right?
Mm.
You gotta hear them talking, because
So they
even if
really
they,
don't. They're really not looking for men that are. But that means that 80% of the women are looking for what 5% of the men.
yeah,
That's crazy. Is
which
that
means
possible?
not every woman is going to be able to get one, which is why I'm giving
Mm.
information
Okay.
because it
Okay.
puts you in a better position to be able to get one. Because even although 80% of the women are looking at 5% of the men,
Hmm.
not all 80% are going to qualify for such a man.
And that's why you come into play.
Exactly. I'm
Mm.
helping women to understand what it takes to date such men to attract such men for the purpose of a committed relationship that can lead to marriage.
Excellent. Excellent.
So that's what this channel is dedicated for. And I've helped many, 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 many women and men get to I do, even after they thought, I
So
can't do this.
I have a question. I have a question.
Okay.
So okay, so you have a channel and you're catering to the women that are looking for high value men. So where does this whole high value man and the catering to high value men and the women wanting these high value men, where does your channel fit into that whole spectrum of everything? I mean, explain that to me.
Okay. So the women want, those are the men that the women want. They want successful, high earning, high value men. Those men have the traits, the attributes, and the financial means to give them the life that they desire. So my channel is to help the women grow into the authentic women that these men desire, because they do have a specific need when it comes to women. They have a specific need, want, and desire. So my channel is just simply to help women grow into their authentic selves, walk in that truly, in order to attract and keep and marry a man in the top 5%.
Wonderful. That is amazing. So from your background, what gives you the expertise to be able to have access to so many high value men? Even you have access to people like myself. What background do you have that allows you to have the expertise to be able to access so many high value men that these women can actually have access to, even in your channel?
Oh my gosh. So one, I am a certified matchmaker, so that is my actual profession. So I'm not just a YouTube or social media influencer. I am an actual certified professional matchmaker. Um, and I built up my clientele over the years. I've been doing this for almost for 10 years now, and I purposely built up my clientele of men that I know that women desire. So my clients are high six-figure earners, seven-figure earners. I'm still hoping for that eight-figure. Wait, no, I do have an eight-figure client. So nine-figure. I'm hoping for that nine-figure client. Plus, I branch out, I network, I socialize with successful, high-earning men, whether it's for the purpose of business, even if they don't decide to become a client. um, it's just building up the network. So I have access, whether it's through my clientele or through my other social media platforms, like such as Clubhouse, Instagram, where the high value men, they love flocking to my platforms, such as yourself, Demetri, which I am very grateful and thankful for. But that just speaks to the type of woman that they desire. So if you're an authentic person, you're a woman who is feminine, you're a woman who is agreeable and pleasant, they will
Well, a
flock to you.
woman that is learning, that wants to learn. I mean, that's really what drew me to your rooms, is because those women are coming in to listen to you to try to learn to be better women. And men in the top 5%, they want a woman that's open to growth, because a man in the top 5%, he's had to grow a large portion of his life in order to be where he is. So he needs a woman that is also willing to take on that growth. So with a woman like yourself teaching women to be actually high value women, because they're highly valued by the top earning men. That's those are going to be the women that we seek.
And yes, and that's how you, when people ask, is there a high value woman? Yes, but it's not like that of a high value man. She becomes a high value woman when she's sought after by high value men. You see how that works? You guys make us into the high value woman because we're sought after by you. And the reason why we're highly sought after by you is because our character traits and our personality traits. So it makes us more sought after. But unfortunately, there's not that many women who fit that qualification. And I'm not talking about highly sought after for sex. I'm talking about a high value woman is a woman who is highly sought after for the purpose of commitment and marriage, mostly marriage. Um, yes, she does have to be attractive. She has to keep herself together, but she also mostly have to have those character traits, those personality traits that man is desiring. So so any woman who's out here saying, "Oh, I'm a high value woman" or whatever, are you sought after by high value men? Um, so I know that's going to rub people the wrong way because they're like, "Ah, a woman's value doesn't come from a man," and I'm like, "No, it doesn't." But I'm not talking about self worth. I'm talking about what makes her valuable to that man. And men grow attraction, not grow, but men are attracted to a woman in a myriad of ways. One would be the physical attraction, but that just gets you through the door. What keeps you in the building is he's going to be attracted to your personality, the person who you are, right? So when you have a well-rounded self, you're confident, you know who you are as a woman. And I'm not talking about the boss chick or trying to be an alpha female. I'm talking about just knowing who you are as a woman, and you're confident in your womanhood. You're exuding your feminine energy in being an authentic, kind person. High value men are going to be able to notice that immediately. It's not something that you have to tell them about. They're going to know. You don't have to tell a high value man that you are a feminine woman. He's going to notice that about you. You don't have to tell a high value man that you are a soft woman. He's going to see that. You don't have to tell him you're kind. He's going to see that because that's what they do. They're looking, they're using their brains to vet you. They're not vetting through their feelings and their emotions. They're vetting through their brains. So they're thinking of everything about you. They're clocking you from the top of your head to the tips of your toes, all the way to the inner self. right? And they're checking to see if the inside and the outside matches and aligns. Like if who you are presenting yourself as, who is that who you truly are? And that's what I seek to help women do, is to find that inner woman, and if she's not built up already, but build her up into a great, authentic, wonderful woman so that it can exude on the outside. And then once you start feeling good about who you are on the inside, that outside is going to change. If it's not a exterior that most men would be attracted to, you'll start to change that. So, with that being said, thank you once again for joining me, Demetrion Ware. Make sure you guys go check him out at the High Value Man Cave. He has wonderful content over there. Ladies, you can also learn some things about the fellas. Fellas, if you're looking to be high value, or if you're high value, that's the place that you go. And y'all can talk about cigars, cars, money, business, all of those things that women don't really care about. But we like to listen to y'all talk about, because we enjoy hearing how productive you guys are. We enjoy hearing how intelligent you are. We enjoy hearing how you're going to make the world turn. So, again, thank you all for joining me, the matchmaker with Letitia Underwood, on this live this evening. And until next time, you all have a wonderful evening.